Enter your answers on the top card, please. You will see it here. So if you click on the I button, it will let you select the answer. Okay, it's 10 past 7 now, and I'll make a start. I think we have about 3 people watching. Okay, so in this question we have been given 3 Cokes and 2 popcorns cost £12, and 2 Cokes and 2 popcorns cost £10. Find the price of 1 Coke and 1 popcorn. You can select your answer from the top right hand corner, where you can actually see the I button there, somewhere around there. Click on that I button here, there. So today we are solving simultaneous equations. Okay, I can see someone selected Coke £2 and popcorn £2. We'll find out in a few minutes what the answer is. Just quickly to test the sound, could you just let me know if you can hear me, please? Yes or no? All right, thank you very much, Sammy. We have King Hasib. Thank you for letting me know. Can you hear me? Yes, we're all good. Okay. Did you manage to enter your answers on the poll? If you just go to the top right hand corner, you'll see the I button there. So can you please enter your answer there? We have about 6 people watching. I'm not sure if anyone else is joining. Okay, let's find out what the answer is. Okay, Coke and popcorn. So let's find out the answer. So we would find out how much does 1 Coke cost and 1 popcorn. And therefore we need to use a simultaneous equation. Now in your exam you could possibly get a question in words, just a worded question, and you have to actually write down your equations, form the equations. or you could be given the actual equations and just need to solve it. Okay, but over here, it's just given as, say, for example, a worded form. So you have to actually form the two equations, and the two equations we can form is 3C, which C is for Coke, plus 2P, P stands for popcorns, is equal to £12. And the second equation we formed is 2C plus 2P. So these two equations there. So all we have to do is solve it simultaneously, simultaneous equations. So once you solved it, it should give us Coke £2 and popcorn should give us £3. Okay, so we'll see in more detail, more examples on how do you actually solve this. Okay, so that's why we use simultaneous equations. When we have two different unknown letters, we can solve the equations at the same time simultaneously. So we're going to look at, first of all, this type of questions, the bronze type. Secondly, we're going to look at when we have different terms. So on the bronze type, we have the same term in the Y. And the silver, we have all the terms are different. And finally, we're going to look at this type of question, a slightly bit more difficult. Okay, now first example, we have two unknowns, x and y, so that's why we have to solve this equation simultaneously. Now, as we can see from these two equations, we have the same term. So in that case, we do not need to multiply any of our equations to make them same or make the terms same. Okay, in that case, we are just going to add and subtract. Now, fish tank, you're right. When it's the same sign, you subtract. So we're going to subtract to get rid of one of these terms, and we are going to get rid of the y's because the y have the same coefficient. And what do I mean by the coefficient is the number in front of the letter is called the coefficient and the letter is called the term. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So the same sign, subtract. Eliminate the letter with the same coefficient by subtracting in this question. So we got 6x plus 1y is equal to 15. 4x plus 1y is equal to 11. So once you subtract it, 15 take away 11 is 4. 1y take away 1y is equal to 0. And 6x take away 4y is 2x. So 2x is equal to 4. All we have to do is solve this equation and then find out what x is. And x is 2. Now once you find your x value, or it could be the y value that you find, but in this case we found the x value, all we have to do is substitute into one of these equations that are given to us. To find the y value, substitute x equals 2 back into one of the original equations. So let's choose equation 1. So we're going to choose this equation here, the first one that I've been given. And instead of x, we're going to substitute 2. So 6 times 2 plus y is equal to 15. So 12 plus y is equal to 15. So solve this equation, take away 12 from both sides, and that will give an answer of 3. And we solved our equation. X is 2 and y is 3. Now I'm going to give you some time to actually solve one or two questions. So let's have a go. So over here, we're just checking our answer, whether it's correct. Okay, and one good way to check your answer is by substituting the answers into the equation that are given. You could choose any of them. Over here, we chose one of them, and we can see that it gives us both sides equal the same answer. Okay, so we chose this one, we substitute the answer into our equation, and we got the answer both sides to be the same. So therefore our answer is correct, and this is a very good exam skill to actually have to check your answer, so that you can be confident with your answer and you will know that you got your correct answer. Okay, let's have a go at another question. And first of all, when you have a question like this, always look at the question and see what do you have. Do you have any of the terms that are same, or are they different? If they are different, then you probably have to multiply them and make one of the term the same. If you don't, then you have to just, if you already got two to the same terms, then you just have to subtract or add. Now in this case, we have two of the terms that are same, 2y and 2y. All we have to do is subtract because both of the sign are same. So let's subtract these two. Okay, same sign, subtract. So we've got 3x plus 2y is 12, and 2x plus 2y is equal to 10. Take away, so 12 take away 10 is 2, and 3x take away x is x, and 2y take away 2y is 0. So x is equal to 2. Like we did in the other example, all we have to do is substitute the x into one of these equations that are given in the question. Let's choose equation 1, 3x plus 2y is equal to 12. So it'd be 3 times 2 plus 2y is equal to 12. And once you simplify it and solve the equation, so take away 6 from both sides, so 2y will be equal to 6, divide by 2 both sides, and y is going to be equal to 3. And we solved it. Now, like I said before, you can actually check your answer using equation 2. So substitute the answers. So we found x is 2 and y is 3. All you have to do is substitute into equation 2. So 2 times 2 added to 2 times 3, because the y value is 3, is equal to 10. So we are finding whether our left hand side of the equation, this side of the equation, is equal to this side. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6. So 4 out of 6 gives us 10. So therefore the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. Therefore our answer is correct. Like I said before, it's always good to check your answer to see whether you got it right, because you don't want to lose any easy marks in your question. Okay, now let's move on to some practice questions. Now, I'm going to ask you to answer question A first, and let's have a look what you get. Once you get your answer, type in your answers into the comment section, please, and I'll see what we get for those, and I'll go through that example. RHS basically stands for right hand side of the equation. So LHS is left hand side and RHS right hand side. Sammy. Okay, we already have answers coming through. So we have x is 2, y is 3. I'll give you another minute to actually have a go at the question. So it's the same question on here. So you're trying question A. If you finish, you can try question B as well. Okay, I think quite a lot of answers there. X is alright, in the answer we have all sorts of letters going on there, so I'm not sure whether you understand the example. A is 4, B is 21. So that's for the second question. X is 2, Y is 8, so I'm guessing that's for the question A. G and H. Now, fish tank, I don't see a letter with G or H on there, so I'm not sure if you're reading the question wrong or right. Please double check. Okay, now I'll go through question A first. So we have 3x plus 2y is equal to 12 and 2x plus 2y is equal to 10. Now, as I said before, first of all, look at the equations, whether you have two of the same terms. Now we can see we have these two terms to be the same. And also that our signs are same. So we are going to subtract. Okay, so let's subtract. So it'll be 12 take away 10 is 2, 2y take away 2y is 0, 3x take away 2x is just x. So x is equal to 2. And the second step, we are just going to substitute x into one of these equations. So let's choose the first equation. We're going to choose this one. So 3x plus 2y, so 3x plus 2y is equal to 12. So x is 2, so it'll be 3 times 2. I'm just substituting x here. Plus 2y is equal to 12. So it'll be 6 plus 2y is equal to 12. Take away 6 from both sides. That will give us 2y is equal to 6 and divide by 2 both sides. And that will give us y is equal to 3. Okay, so x is 2. So our answer, x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. So fish tank, your answer is correct. X is 2 and y is equal to 3. And Zirani, yes, well done. And okay, quite a few answers there. Okay, let's have a go at the second one. So we have 5a plus 3b is equal to 41 and 4a plus 3b is equal to 37. Just like before, we are going to look at the equations, and we have two of the same terms, which is 3b and 3b, and they are the both same sign. So we are going to subtract. So let's subtract. 41 take away 37, it's 4. 3b take away 3b is 0. Both cancel out. And then 5a take away 4a is just a. So a is 4. Well done, King Hasib. You already got the answers correct. Possibly a is 4, and I got a is 4. Now let's substitute into one of these. It doesn't matter which one you substitute into. You could substitute into 1 or equation 1 or equation 2. And I'll choose equation 2 for now. 4a plus 3b is equal to 37. Okay, so we found a to be 4, so 4 times 4 plus 3b is equal to 37. 16 plus 3b is equal to 37. So take away 16 from both sides. That will give you 3b is equal to 21 divided by 3 both sides. That will give you b is equal to 7. So King Steve, just need to check your answer for b. B is 7. I think you forgot to divide right at the end. Okay, so our answer a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 7. Okay. Now I'm going to go through the second set of examples. Now before I go ahead, there's an exam question here. So we have 4x plus y is equal to minus 1, 4x minus 3y is equal to 7. Okay, let's have a go at this exam question, and it is worth 3 marks. So you will need to show all your working. Okay, let's have a go at this one. So we have 4x plus y equal to minus 1, 4x minus 3y is equal to 7. So we can see that we got the two of the same terms, and they're all both positive, so therefore we are going to subtract. So let's subtract minus 1. Now, when it comes to negative, it gets a bit tricky. So what you have to do is minus 1, take away 7. So be careful with that. So minus 1 and minus 7, that gives us minus 8. Okay, now y minus 3y. Now we are taking away minus 3y from y. So that is going to make minus 3y a positive 3y. So it'll be y plus 3y is 4y. So let's write it down here. So we are, oops. Okay. So we are taking away 3y. So let's write it out here. So y take away, and we are taking away minus 3y here. So minus 3y. Now you can see that we have two negatives here. When we have two negative next to each other, it becomes positive. So y plus 3y is equal to 4y. And a lot of students make that mistake. We'll just write down maybe minus 2y or something like that. Okay, so that will give us 4y. Okay. And 4x take away 4x is 0. So 4y is equal to minus 8. So divide by 4 both sides. That will give us y is equal to minus 2. Now we found our y value. All we have to do is substitute into one of these equations and find what x is. So let's choose equation 1. So 4x is equal plus y is equal to -1. Substitute -2 into this equation here. So 4x -2 is equal to -1. Sorry about that. I think to get this on. Okay, let's start from here again. Just having a bit of trouble with the pen. So 4x plus y is equal to -1. Substitute y is -2 into this equation. So we have 4x -2 is equal to -1. Add 2 on both sides, and that will give us 4x is equal to 1. And divide by 4 both sides, x will be equal to 1 over 4. And that's it. That's our answer. So y is a -2 and x is a quarter, or 0.25. So well done, fish tank. 0.25 and -2. Sammy, well done. And Zirani, well done. Got the correct answers. Okay, now let's move on to the second type of example that we're going to look at, where we actually have to multiply the actual equations in order to make them the same. Now this example is similar to the one we did before, but a slightly bigger number. Let's have a look at this one. On this one, we have two different equations, but we have the same terms, and also, but only thing different about these two are that the signs are different. Now, all this time we did equations, simultaneous equations with signs that are same. Now let's have a go at one of these. The signs are different, so therefore we're going to add, and let's have a look what answer do we get for this one. So need to eliminate the letter with the same coefficient by adding in this question. So 4x plus 3y is 32 and 5x minus 3y is 13. So because these two signs are different, we are going to add. So 32 add 13 is 45. Because it's plus 3y and minus 3y, they're going to cancel out. And we're going to have 4x plus 5x is equal to 9x. And we solve it, we'll have x is equal to 5. Now all we have to do is substitute the value of x into one of these equations that is given in the question. So let's substitute 5 into x is 5 into equation 1. So that'll give us, so we'll substitute into this equation here. So 4 times 5 plus 3y is equal to 32. So 20 plus 3y is equal to 32. Take away 20 from both sides. That will give us 3y is equal to 12. Divided by 3 both sides, and that will give us y is equal to 4. So answer is x is 5 and y is 4. And you can actually substitute these two values into the second equation to check whether the answer is correct. Okay, so let's check our answers. So x is 5 and y is 4. So 5 times 5, take away 3 times 4, which is 25, take away 12. And 25 take away 12 is 13. So the left hand side of the equation equates to the right hand side of the equation. Therefore, we know that our answer is correct. Let's have a go at some of these questions. Have a go at question A, and let's have a look what answer do you get. So you're trying question A. I'll give you about 3 minutes to answer it, and then we'll go through the answer. So your 3 minutes start now. Okay, I hope you had a go at it. I can already see some of the answers on there. 5, 4, 6, 3. Okay, now I'll go through the answer now and check whether you have the correct answer. So we have 4x plus 3y is 32. 5x minus 3y is 13. Now, like we said before, first of all, check whether you have the same term. And we have 3y on both equations, which are same, but this time we have different signs. So when we have different signs, we said we are going to add. So let's add these two equations. So 32 add 13 is going to give us 45. 3y, take away 3y, leaves us with 0. And 4x plus 5x is equal to 9x. So 9x is 45, so divide by 9 both sides, and that gives us x to be 5. Now, just like before, all we have to do is substitute x into one of these equations. So let's choose equation 1. You can choose any of them actually. So equation 1 is 4x plus 3y is equal to 32. So x is 5 this time, so 4 times 5 plus 3y is equal to 32. (20) plus 3y is equal to 32. Take away 20 from both sides. 3y is equal to 12. Divide by 3 both sides, y is equal to 4. So we have x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 4. Just like before, let's substitute the both values into equation 2 and see whether our answer is correct. So I'm going to choose the equation 2 to check our answers. So equation 2, we have 5x minus 3y is equal to 13. And the values are x is 5, that's 5 times 5. Take away 3, and y is 4. 3 times 4. Okay, I'll put brackets on so that we don't get confused. And our answer should be equal to 13. So 5 times 5 is 25. Take away 3 times 4 is 12. It's equal to 13. And 25 take away 12 is equal to 13. And should be equal to 13. So therefore, left hand side of the equation is equal to the right hand side of the equation. Therefore, our answer is correct. And it is actually good when you're in your exams and getting answers right. It does motivate you and it puts you in a good mood, so it helps you actually answer more questions. I'm not sure if it works for you, but when you're in a good mood, a lot of things go right, doesn't it? Let's have a look at the last type of example now. You can see all these windows open on my computer, which doesn't help, slows down the computer and then affects the live stream. But at the moment the stream health is quite good, it's showing green. So that's a good sign. No need to go to A&E. So just finding the right question, guys, bear with me. Yes, that's the one. So we're going to look at simultaneous equations when one or more equations need changing. Okay, so all this time we looked at simultaneous equations where they have the same term. Now we're going to look at where all the different terms are different, and we actually have to make them the same and then add or subtract in order to solve it. Okay, so let's have a look at this example here. So we have x plus 4y is equal to 6 and 3x minus 2y is equal to 4, and all the terms and coefficients are different. So we've got x, 3x here, we've got 4y, and we've got minus 2y here. Okay, they're all different, so let's see what we can do with that one. So when neither of the coefficients are the same, we multiply one or both equations to make them the same. Okay, now on this one we can actually get away by just multiplying one of them. Okay, so multiply equations 2 by 2, and as you can see, if you multiply this minus 2y by 2, we can see we can get a 4y, which is same as the 4y above it. So if you multiply equation 2 by 2, that will give us 6x minus 4y is equal to 8. We call this equation 3. Okay, it's always good to name the equations 1, 2, and 3 so that you can keep track of which equations you have and what are you doing to which equations. Okay, so we use the original equation 1 and the new equation 3. So your original equation is x plus 4y is equal to 6. Now eliminate the letter with the same coefficient by adding in this equation. And how do we know that we need to add? Because the signs are different. Okay, so let's write it down, our both equations. So equation 1, the original one from the question, x plus 4y is equal to 6. And the new equation that we found by multiplying the second equation by 2, which is 6x minus 4y is equal to 8. And as we can see, the signs are different, therefore we are going to add. So 6 add 8, 14 plus 4y, take away 4y is 0, and x plus 6x is equal to 7. Divide by 7 both sides, that gives us x is 2. All we have to do now is substitute the value of x into one of these equations and find what y value is. Okay, so to find y, we substitute x is 2 back into one of the original equations. So let's choose equation 1. Just like I said before, you can choose equation 2, but try and choose an equation which is very simple, because an equation 2 does involve the negatives, so you might need to times x by another number. So try as the simplest equation available on your question to make your life a little bit easier. Okay, so we need to do is substitute x into this equation, which is 2 plus 4y is equal to 6. Take away 2 from both sides, gives us 4y is equal to 4, and divide by 4 both sides, and that gives us y is equal to 1. Okay, and the last step, check your answer using the original equation 2. So x is 2 and y is 1, that's what we found. Substitute into the second equation, and 6 take away 2, which is 4. 6 take away 2 is 4. So therefore we can see 4 is equal to 4, and we have found our correct answer. Okay, I'll leave that for a few seconds so that you can actually see where we're actually going with this question. So on this example, we looked at two different, where all the coefficients were different. So we had to multiply one of them equations to actually make the coefficient same, and then get rid of one of them. In this case, we got rid of one of them from the equation. Okay, now let's try question A again. So over here we have 2x plus 9y So we have 2x plus 9y is equal to 69, and x plus 3y is equal to 24. Have a go at this question and type in your answer in the comment section, and let's see what we get for it. This time, can you check your answer by putting in your answers into equation 2 or even 1 to see whether you got the right answer? And I'll give you about 3 minutes for this. Got 1 more minutes available. So we have one answer in from Hasib. X is 3 and Y is 7. Did you check your answer, Hasib, to see whether it's correct? Okay. Good. Okay, I'll run through it quickly, very quickly anyway, to check for any mistakes. Okay, so we have 2x plus 9y is equal to 69 and x plus 3y is equal to 24. Now, like we said before, all the coefficients are different. So we have a 2 there, 9, then we have 1 and 3 there. They're all different, so we have to make one of them the same. So in this case, we're going to make the second equation the same. So it's always good to name the equations. We can call it equation 1, equation 2. So we are going to multiply equation 2 by 3, okay, to make the y same as the first equation, which is 9y. You can multiply x by 2 as well to make the x's the same. Either way is fine. Okay. So let's multiply equation 2 by 3. So that'll give us 3x plus 9y is equal to 72. Okay. Now we are going to subtract equation 1 from equation, let's call this equation 3. Now let's subtract equation 1 from equation 3. So equation 1 is 2x plus 9y is equal to 69. So 2x plus 9y is equal to 69. And let's subtract that. And we should get 3 here. 9y, take away 0. 3x take away 2x is just x. So x is equal to 3. Now we're going to substitute the value of x into one of these equations. Now I would choose equation 2 because it's got smaller numbers and x is just itself. There's no coefficient here. Okay, so therefore I'm just going to use equation 2. So let's substitute x is 3 into equation 2. So our equation 2 is x plus 3y is equal to 24. So x is 3 plus 3y is equal to 24. Subtract 3 from both sides, so that'll give us 3y is equal to 21. Divide by 3 both sides, gives us y is equal to 7. So you're right, Sleeps. X is 3 and y is 7. Now let's substitute our both answers. X is 3 and y is 7 into one of these equations to check our answer. Okay, let's choose equation 1 because we didn't use that equation. So 2x plus 9y is equal to 69. Let's substitute x, which is 3. So 2 times 3 plus 9 times 7 is equal to 69. 2 times 3 is 6, added to 7 times 9 is 63, is equal to 69. So 63 added to 6 is 69, and the right hand side is equal to 69. So we have proved that left hand side is equal to right hand side of our equation. Therefore our answer is correct. Okay. Okay, now that brings us to the end of this lesson of solving linear simultaneous equations. Now this topic does come up in foundation and higher, so it's suitable for both tiers. Okay, now let's quickly run through what we actually did in this lesson. Okay, so first of all, we looked at equations, simultaneous equations with the same coefficients. So on this one we had 2y and 2y and the same signs. So we had to take away the equations from each other. That was one type, and then we found one of the values, which was x, and then substitute x into one of these equations, and then we found what y is, and then we substitute both values into one of those equations to check whether the answer is correct. The second type of equation we looked at, where we had two different signs but the same coefficient. So in this example here, question A, we can see we have the same coefficients but different signs. So in that case, what we did was we added to eliminate one of them, and then we found x, then substitute the value of x into one of those equations, and then we found our y value. Again, substituted both values into one of those equations to check whether our answer is correct, and we found that left hand side is equal to right hand side. Therefore our answer was correct. And the last type of example that we actually looked at was where all the coefficients were different and we had to make one of them the same. Okay, so in that case we looked at equation 2 and we multiplied it by 3 to make the y coefficients same. You could have multiplied the second equation by 2, that would have given us 2x over here, so therefore our x value would have been the same, but in that case we chose y. Now once you made the equation one of the coefficients same, all you had to do is look at the sign, and we saw the sign was same, so therefore we subtracted, and once subtracted we just found the x value, and once we found the x value we just substituted into one of those equations and we found out what y value is. And once we've done that, we checked again by substituting x and y value in both one side of the equation to see whether it equates to the right hand side, and we found out that the left hand side is equal to right hand side, and therefore we know that our answer is correct. Okay, and that was that. I hope this actually helps you guys. If it did help, please do give it a thumbs up, press the like button, and maybe leave me a comment to say it helped. Thank you, Mohammed. I'm sure it does. Yeah, definitely, yes. Time to ace these exams. When are these exams? You're in year 9, so you should have some sort of exam going on. Are you in year 9? Okay. But anyway, now on the next lesson, I'm going to go through changing the subject of equations, which is another very common topic that comes up. Thank you, Niaz. So there's another very common topic that usually comes up in foundation and higher as well. When is the next lesson, Hasib? I'm hoping to do one on Monday. Well, tomorrow, if not Tuesday. One of those days in the evening. So let's see. I'll keep you guys updated. If you just follow, or well, if you to, I'm sure you subscribe to the channel, so hopefully you get some sort of notification. But if you want to keep ahead with the information, then follow me at Mr. Mahmood Maths on Twitter, and I'll send some sort of information through so that people can stay up to date. Okay, thank you very much, and give it a thumbs up please if it actually helps you guys. Thank you and goodbye. See you in the next video. This time I know how to stop this thing.